Why thieves love the Dodge Charger, the most stolen muscle car in America. There's a car out there that thieves want more than any other. Not a luxury SUV, not a boring Toyota, not even a supercar. It's a Dodge Charger. Or if they're feeling bold, a Challenger. That's right. The modern-day muscle cars that roar like beasts and look like rolling tanks are also the easiest score on the street. But this isn't just about high theft numbers. This is about a car company that marketed speed to the streets and accidentally handed the keys to the wrong crowd. Because under the hood of this crime wave, there's a deeper story. And it gets dark. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you won't just look at Chargers and Challengers the same way. You'll understand how these cars became the most stolen muscle cars in America. Section 1. The muscle car that became bait. Let's start with a real story. In 2022, outside a dealership in Detroit, a man walks up to a brand new Charger Scat Pack sitting on the lot. No break-in, no busted windows. He pops the hood, taps a few buttons on a laptop, slams it shut, and drives off like he owns it. Total time? 90 seconds. And this isn't a one-off. It's happening every day. In Atlanta, in Houston, in Chicago. Hell, it might have happened on your street last night. So what makes these cars so tempting? It's not just about the horsepower, although that definitely doesn't hurt. It's image. These cars are the bad boys of the boulevard. They look angry. They sound violent. They've been in rap videos, Fast and Furious movies, and Instagram reels of street takeovers. And that image, it's exactly what makes them the perfect target. They're fast enough to outrun cops, tough enough to survive a chase, and valuable enough to chop up and sell in pieces. If you're a thief looking for a high-return, low-risk payday, a Charger is like winning the jackpot. Section 2. Dodge's open-door policy. Security. So bad, it's a joke. You'd think a car that powerful would come with Fort Knox security. Think again. The modern Charger and Challenger might look tough, but they've got the digital security of a vending machine. The number one method? Key fob cloning. You can buy a device online for less than $100 that captures the signal from a Dodge key. Stand near someone at the grocery store. Wait until they hit unlock. Boom. You've got the code. Now you can walk up to their car later and drive it off like you're headed to lunch. The other method is even crazier. It's called a CAN bus attack. Basically, thieves pop the hood, tap into the car's communication system, and inject a fake start signal. And the car just obeys. No alarms, no warnings. It's like Dodge programmed their own cars to be polite victims. Even Teslas put up a better fight than this. And Teslas don't even have engines. Next up, we're going to break down the jaw-dropping numbers behind this trend. And right after that, the curveball you didn't see coming. A twist in Dodge's role that flips this whole story. Section 3. The numbers don't lie. This isn't a fluke. You might be thinking, okay, sure, a few get stolen. That happens with every car. But let's look at the scoreboard. According to the National Insurance Crime Bureau, the Dodge Charger HEMI and Dodge Challenger have the highest theft rates of any new vehicle in America. Not just once, not in a bad year. This is a repeat pattern. In fact, for certain years and trims, Chargers are stolen more than 5 times the national average. Let that sink in. 5 times. That's not unlucky. That's a design flaw wearing a hoodie and sneaking off your driveway. In some cities, like Atlanta, New Orleans, and Detroit, insurance companies have even refused to cover Hellcats. They straight up say, nope, too risky. It's like trying to insure a lit stick of dynamite. Meanwhile, a Honda Accord, one of the most stolen cars of all time, is now safer than your brand new Dodge. We're talking about a vehicle so notoriously theft-prone that some owners have resorted to parking boots. Yes, they're locking their own cars, just to keep them. And here's the twist. It's not just criminals that love these cars. Section 4. Curveball. Dodge. Sold the fantasy. Criminals bought it. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. This isn't just about tech flaws, or bad luck, or criminals getting smarter. It's about marketing. Because Dodge didn't just sell performance, they sold attitude. They sold the outlaw, the rebel, the if you know culture that practically dared people to take the wheel. From the red key fob that unleashes all 700+ horsepower, to the Super Bowl ads with street racing montages, to the Brotherhood of Muscle branding that celebrates lawless adrenaline. Dodge didn't build cars, they built legends, and legends attract worshippers. Even if some of those worshippers wear ski masks and carry jammers in their backpacks. Think about it. If you're a 17-year-old kid who grew up watching Hellcats tearing up TikTok with no job but big dreams, what's stopping you? Nothing. That's the problem. Section 5. The human toll. It's not just a car anymore. At this point, it's bigger than stolen property. This is people getting robbed in their driveways at gunpoint. Middle-of-the-day suburban neighborhoods. Carjackings that go from zero to nightmare in seconds. One woman in Houston had her Charger Hellcat taken in broad daylight while loading groceries with her kids in the car. She handed over the keys. The thief took the car. And she's never driven a Dodge since. Insurance premiums for Charger and Challenger owners have skyrocketed. In some areas, you're looking at nearly $3,000 a year just for basic coverage, if you can even get it. And what's the solution? Some owners have installed Apple AirTags under their seats. Others have installed kill switches, steering wheel locks, and GPS trackers wired to backup batteries. And the most paranoid of the bunch? They've started booting their own wheels every single night. Imagine that. You spend 50 grand on a car and treat it like a criminal on house arrest. It's funny until you realize what that says about the ownership experience. You're not just buying a Dodge anymore, you're buying a target. Section 6. Dodge's response. Too little, too late. So what has Dodge done about this? Well, they added a software update that limits power to 3 horsepower if the correct key isn't detected. You heard right. 3 horsepower. Your Hellcat becomes a lawnmower. But here's the catch. It's not standard. It's not retroactive for all models. And most owners don't even know the feature exists unless they go to the dealer and ask for it. No mass recall, no emergency press conference, just a quiet patch buried in forums and tech bulletins. Meanwhile, Dodge keeps pumping out wide bodies and limited editions. Jailbreaks, demons, red eyes. They're still selling the fantasy. And the streets are still taking the bait. Section 7. The unfixable problem, when the dream becomes the threat. By now you get it. The Dodge Charger and Challenger aren't just cars. They're cultural weapons. They're symbols of horsepower, rebellion, and raw American energy. But they've also become the most hijacked identity in the auto world. You can patch the software. You can reinforce the key fob. You can even train the cops on CAN bus hacking. But the real damage, it's already been done, because Dodge didn't just sell muscle. They sold myth. And the myth made its way into the wrong hands. These cars are too recognizable, too fast, too easy to flip, and worst of all, too loved by people who don't give a damn about the law. This isn't a safety recall issue. This is a branding backfire so massive it created its own underground economy. Dodge tried to build America's last real muscle cars. But in the process, they gave the streets a new kingpin. One that can hit 60 in under 4 seconds and vanish before the police radio even finishes the sentence. So next time you see a Charger fly by with a loud exhaust and blacked out windows, just ask yourself one thing. Is that driver the owner? Or just the latest recruit in a horsepower heist epidemic? Either way, Dodge made the car, the streets wrote the story, and now, the legend belongs to the thieves.